Friends, gather around for tonight we delve into the world of taxes. Specifically, the tax breaks passed during the Trump administration which, much like a casino buffet, seem appealing at first glance but leave you feeling queasy and slightly emptier inside. These tax cuts, primarily benefiting the wealthy, have been a point of contention since their inception. Now you might be thinking, John, taxes are about as exciting as watching paint dry. And you'd be right. But stick with me, because understanding where your hard-earned money goes is crucial. Especially when it's going towards another golden toilet for a man who probably doesn't even pay taxes. This isn't just about numbers, it's about priorities. Are we, as a nation, content with a system that disproportionately benefits the already wealthy? A system where the burden falls on the shoulders of the middle class? Buckle up, folks. We're going on a wild ride through the labyrinthine world of tax cuts, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this. The path to these tax cuts was about as smooth as a ride on a roller coaster made of rusty spoons. It started with the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, a bill that promised to boost the economy and help working families. Spoiler alert, it didn't quite work out that way. Fast forward to 2025 and we see the ghost of the TCJA rearing its head again. The House, in their infinite wisdom, passed a budget resolution to extend these tax cuts, potentially adding trillions to the deficit. The Senate, however, decided to be the voice of reason, for once, and blocked these cuts. This legislative back and forth is like a tennis match played with a hand grenade. Nobody wins, and everyone's terrified of what happens when the music stops. The bottom line is, the fight over these tax cuts is far from over, and with so much at stake, you can bet your bottom dollar that politicians will continue to use this issue as a political football. Now let's talk turkey, or should I say tax breaks. The main course on this legislative menu is the extension of the TCJA. This means making those temporary tax cuts permanent. Sounds great, right? Well, not so fast. Remember that feeling when you eat a whole tub of ice cream in one sitting? Sure, it's amazing at first, but then the stomachache hits. That's the TCJA extension in a nutshell. It might feel good for some in the short term, but the long-term consequences could be disastrous. On top of that, we have a buffet of additional tax proposals. We're talking eliminating taxes on tips, overtime pay, and even Social Security benefits. Oh, and let's not forget about those sweet, sweet deductions for auto loan interest on American-made cars. Because nothing screams fiscal responsibility like encouraging people to buy more cars they can't afford. But wait, there's more. To add a little spice to the mix, Trump also proposed tariffs on imports. Because when you want to boost the economy, nothing says job creation like a trade war. Here's the thing about these tax cuts. They're like a game of Monopoly where one person starts with all the money and gets to write their own rules. And surprise, surprise, the wealthy are winning. Again. Proponents argue that these tax cuts will lead to economic growth, job creation, and increased investment. They'll tell you it's like a rising tide that lifts all boats. But here's the catch. They conveniently forget to mention that some boats are yachts, and others are inflatable rafts held together with duct tape and hope.